Welcome to City Bricks. We've got a few things planned for this update. Oh, fuck. Including picking up. But I think what I'm going to get to first is going to be this Sanctum sanctorum. I feel like its lights aren't really doing it justice, so I'm going to be updating that. Then I'll be turning my attention to this direction. And I think I'm going to be upgrading the back of this one here. I put something there just to block out some light, but there's just huge gaps and I'm not really happy with it. Eventually I'd like to do the same thing with, what is this, Parisian Street? It's got a lot of arches in the back, which I've covered up, but I think just like building in tan brick would do a better job at blocking out the light. And just make it look a little bit better. I feel like this is a bit tacky, and then if I built it into the building, I'd actually save a stud, so it'd be a little bit wider, and maybe we could see it a bit better. So those are the plans for this update. Will we get to them all? I guess we'll see. So I'm gonna be taking out the old lights, which is really just a strand of 4 bright white lights. And as you can see, it really wasn't lighting it up enough. It'll also give me a chance to add some more minifigures in here and maybe a bit more scenes. And then I plan on adding a bunch of detail inside as well. Hopefully we can get a few different colors. That's the plan. I think where most of the lights are gonna come from is probably this set. I don't really display it in the city anymore until at least maybe I get like a green area or something like that. So I think I'm gonna actually take a lot of the lights from here because it's got a lot of color and put them in here. And I've also got some extra lights just in case I don't have enough. And here I've got it updated and placed back into the city. I've got a bunch of scenes up top like Doctor Strange and Iron Man. And then I've got Thor over there as well, the Flash. I put some yellow lights on the first 2 floors, and then I got a pink light coming out of there because there's a gym inside. And I do think the view looks a lot better from this entrance. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the upgrade. Now that I finished up the Sanctum, it's time to look at this set and work on the back. I think I'm just gonna extract it and go from there. Now that I've got it pulled out, I wanna go ahead and get this all covered up. Probably add a few more minifigures and update the lights a little bit. The wire management is kind of crazy and I need to make it completely flat. Now it might not look pretty yet, but I just had to use the pieces that I had. So some of them are miscolored, and then you might notice I had a different kind of gold gate as well. I didn't really want to buy a second set just to cover up the back. So here's how it's going so far. And here I've got the back all finished up. I still need to finish lighting, but I really like how it turned out. And I finally got it placed and re-lit up. I still need to populate the front, but I really like how it looks in the back. I got some of the lanterns lit up, and it took about 15 LEDs, but I think I really like how it turned out. Maybe I could add a sign or a light to the sign, but let me know what you think. And now that I've got this area lit up, I think I'm gonna turn my attention over here towards this road and probably end up moving the museum. And so here's a good look at how everything looks right now before I move some things around. And this is one of the views that I'm most worried about, so I think I'm gonna fix that up too. Now I've moved around quite a bit of stuff, but we've got Diagon Alley a bit closer with the bank right at the end. I've moved the museum, and I'm probably gonna need to start expanding the city this way just to future-proof it for like the X-Mansion and maybe the Botanical Garden. I've also left about a base plate right here in front where I could probably do like a sidewalk and then a road, or just pull these buildings a bit further up and make this alley a bit wider. Now that does leave me the problem with Gringotts Bank still having an open back. However, I think I can just use like a few studs and probably come up with a design to cover that up. However, I think angling the road this way is probably going to be a challenge. All right, we just got it in, along with some gift with purchases. And now it's just finding a spot for it. It's 2 base plates wide. I do have some room over here, but I don't know Both of those buildings look so similar. I don't think I'd place it next to the museum. So I might have to shift some things around. So here's a good look at how the city looks right now. I'm gonna get it built and probably have to move some things around. And I was immediately wrong because it's 1.5 base plates. Now the mill's plates are all done and they're looking pretty colorful. I hope nothing shines through. All right, we're 5 bags in. But doesn't her face look blue? And I think where I'm gonna place the X Mansion is probably around this area. So here's a good look at the before. Here I've got it placed for now. I really like how I got the gas station out of there just because it's got that, driveway and it didn't really make sense. But I don't really like this right side, how it's just going off into nothing. However, this alleyway has been moved and it leads right up to the back. And I really like that. And then I've made some changes over here and I think that looks a whole lot cleaner than it used to as well. So of course it's just the once you move one thing, you start moving a bunch of things and then you start fixing things. So that's where I'm at right now. I've got a lot of things moved and I've noticed I should really probably add a few more minifigures over here. And then I wanted to finish tiling off like this, also behind all of these buildings. That way the alleyway, once everything's placed back, looks very cohesive. And then I just want to add a few more minifigures. And it's looking a bit dark in this corner, so I might add another light as well. For now, I'm thinking that's where the X Mansion's gonna be placed and probably leave that right side open just so I could leave like a trail going to that alley in the back. I do want to keep this alley here, but I'm definitely gonna change it up, probably make it a bit shorter and then change up the right side of that. Also add a bit more lights. I still have to plug in the pet shop and the apartment building to get those lit up. But I'm thinking eventually the road's gonna be heading that way. Now I've also pushed back Parisian Street and have enough room here for a road, so I just finished making that and mills plating it. Still have to finish up a few areas, but I just wanted to get a good idea of what it would look like, and then fixing this part's gonna be, I'm pretty sure, next. And I lied. I'm actually waiting on some road plates from Lego, so I can't work on that for now. But I figured I'd share some of my thoughts on this X Mansion. I think that, of course, it's just way too small. There's barely any room inside of those buildings. And for $20 more, you can get the Daily Bugle. That's kind of crazy. But I do love how it looks. It's also a lot shorter, so I could see those facades in the background. And then mine, I didn't build it with all the damages or those big sentinels on it, but I think what I'm gonna end up doing is moving all those X-Men to the back. That way I can still keep them. And of course I plan on lighting it up. So I really like how it looks, but for $20 more, if you don't have the Daily Bugle, I'd go for that. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this update. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.